Hello Mercedes lovers, we have a double header today. It's the Mercedes-Benz McLaren SLRs, both the coupe and the convertible versions. I've come to enjoy these little Minichamps 64s, but they're all like old, I don't think Minichamps make 64 scale cars anymore, so these are all like new old stock or possibly used. I got them off eBay. So let's take a look here. I guess we'll start with the coupe, this red one here. Tells you on the side what the thing is. It does say here 2008. So I guess it's one of the latter SLRs, because Wikipedia tells me this car was sold between 2003 and 2009. Alright. So SLR is supposed to be an acronym for Sport Leicht Rennsport. I'm not German, so I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but the English translation comes to Sport Light Racing. It's supposed to be an homage to the original Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR coupe, which is an old, no, not a coupe, sorry, it's a roadster. I believe from the 50s, and it would be cool if someone made a premium version of that. I guess I'll just take these both out of the box now. Let's see here. Wikipedia is also saying over 2,100 of these SLRs were made. I didn't look up how much these things cost originally, but I'm quite sure they were a lot. If anyone wants to research that, please leave a comment. These are supposed to be powered by a 5.4 liter supercharged V8, and actually there's the engine right there, and you can see here, those are unique. Those are actually the mufflers, because this thing has side pipes right behind the front wheel. So the engine is mid-mounted but up front, so it's well behind the front axle, keeping the weight within the wheels, but it's still up front. You'll notice these things have 2 screws, so that's some very secure mounting, I guess, to avoid maybe shipping damage. And they also have a little plastic thing to raise them off the base, so I'm gonna hope that these don't have flat spots on the tires. And I guess these things are limited to 5,000 or so pieces. Okay. Let's get these screws out of here. Sorry. So let's compare here this front photo of the coupe here. Sorry, why is my camera rocking? Oh, I was sitting on that silly plastic thing. Alright, sorry. Let's try that again. Well, it's not bad. It's very low slung looking, this thing. And then I do have a back photo of the Roadster, and these things have these gull-wing style doors. Dihedral doors? I forget the proper name for them when they go up at an angle like that. Alright. Alright, back to this thing. Let's take a look and see what kind of nice details Minichamps got in there. Boy, I hope that thing will come off. What is this? Alright, so luckily it's just some weird thing stuck in the box, but it's gone. Being a red die cast, I'm afraid of some paint rash that's gonna happen. Could be developing. Yeah, I think it's starting. It's not bad yet. Alright, well, the wheels here definitely look like the original wheels that came on the car. These swept turbine style wheels. And they do have a Mercedes star there in the hub, so that's good. It's molded in. And also there's a brake. Look at that. It's like really fine cross-drilled brake pattern. It is part of the wheel casting, so there's no brake caliper. But I think that's better than having nothing, with such big gaps between the spokes. So I think it's pretty good. These things have slick tires. They are rubbery, but they are slick. And they have some friction going on in the axles. So they're not going to roll like a Hot Wheels, but they do spin, at least. So so the exhaust pipes here, yeah, they're nice. I mean, because there's a little black in the middle, and then there seems to be a tiny bit of dimensionality there, so that's nice. And then you got these louvers here to cool off the engine, I guess, and there's a little silver on these strakes Okay, so silver here for this marker. And no marker in the back, that's odd, but well, I guess it's because the taillight wraps around so much around the back. This must be the door handle. And then we have some black paint on the casting. What's great, open windows so we can see the interior later, which will look nice. And the base here, it does tell you, which is nice here, the car and the year of the car. That's nice to know as well. The scale, who made it. So essentially it has everything I want to know when I pick up the bottom of a die-cast, you know. A complete stranger could just pick this up and then know exactly what this model is. It's really weird that other companies don't do that. Alright, so who knows? I don't know if this is accurate to the bottom, but it looks like it would be relatively accurate. One thing that is a bit sad is their press fit together. So if there was some sort of QC problem, or if you just want to maybe do some customization, it's going to be hard to do without drilling it apart. Alright, well, let's see here. In these grill areas, there's a really faint texture, and then it's painted black, of course. But they managed to keep some of the original body color there. This thing terminates for some reason. Looking at the real photograph, this should just blend right into this surface here. I'm not sure why they didn't just continue that over. I wonder if it had to do with something painting it or something. Well, anyways, you can back up the video and decide for yourself. Little fog lights, I guess. Really tiny fog lights, little silver paint in them. This little groove here, there's no extra black paint, but it's pretty deep, so it still looks dark, so that's pretty good. And then the headlights, you know, clear plastic lenses looking good. And the way they molded the post to go into the casting, makes them look like they have light bulbs back there. So I think that's good. There's some black paint in these recesses, and that looks pretty nice. The silver chromed piece of plastic here. This is a separate piece, chrome plastic with some black around it. So that's a really great emblem. I mean, it's huge. So it's not part of the casting. It's definitely a separate piece, so that's nice. They could have tried going the laser route, casted it, and then printed it, but this is really nice. I like it. Okay, what's going on here? This is part of the casting, and there's just some silver paint. Now, what's not so great here is it looks like, you know, this one louver is not painted, right? So I'm guessing that just can't be right. I'm assuming these would all be the same color, these ridges. So, well, I don't know. I don't have a top view of this thing up. The reason why I say that is because the black car is doing the same thing. The last louver isn't painted silver. Don't know. Don't know. Okay, and then the streaks going across are silver as well. Raised, a pretty crazy looking set of windshield wiper blades. But they're raised, they're painted black, they're pretty thin, so it looks good. You have this black paint on the back side of the surface there, but on the front side of the mold for the molding, so a lot of effort going on there. I didn't even notice this before. There's a printing here, McLaren, so it's legible. If I could focus. Yeah, so that's good. I didn't even see it there because it was so reflective, I guess. Yeah, alright. Let's go around to the back here. So again, nice clear lenses, and then molded and painted details behind those clear taillight lenses. Right? Look at that. There's a lot of stuff going on there. It's really nice. Okay, so then the badging here says SLR. The Mercedes star, very small ring, very good. I'm guessing those are the backup lights, so that's in a recess, so that would be hard to tampo print, but they did it. And now I don't know if this black thing is part of the base here. Probably not, because it's riveted. I thought it might be a tab. So I'm going to guess that's just black paint. So it looks good. And no license plate. That's unfortunate. This aerodynamic wing here, I guess raises and lowers on the real car. And then black out here. So now let's get into the interior. And this is one of the, I think Minichamps does a good job with their interiors because they usually have instrument gauges. And they do again, right? And then while we're at it, you can see the side mirror has a reflector and a little silver dot for probably the light, you know, maybe that flashes when the thing's doing a turn. The steering wheel here has a nice Mercedes star again. That shifter thing has a different color, so it's possible that's actually a separate piece because the separation of the color is so good. The center console there, yeah, silver paint there, so that's nice. So that's great. That's a really great interior. This paint here is a little sloppy, but I'm gonna live with it. Okay, what about the seats? Yeah, they're just black, but you know, there's some cushion details. The center console vertically, I'm guessing that opens there on the top. It looks like a handle there. So that's a pretty good interior. I really have nothing to complain about. Okay. A little segue here. I think the engine here is supposed to be a 5.4 liters. Oh, I already went over that, but did I say it had 600 horsepower? And it's been timed to be 3.3 seconds, 0 to 60 by a couple magazines, or one magazine at least. And theoretically it's supposed to go 200 miles per hour, over 200 miles per hour. Alright, so this convertible is a little tougher to see because it's black and it's quite shiny. Yeah, camera. So there's that McLaren text again. It's pretty much the same casting, I think. Right? Yeah, same weird brake there on the front grille. Okay. Taillights look the same. Badge looks the same. Oh, well, I guess here on this one you can see these red reflectors. Obviously on a red car you can't really see it. So that's a little bit different. Oh, and now there's a third brake light we didn't see on the red car before. The little side, yeah, little silver dot on the side mirror. Now look at this interior. This is pretty sweet. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. The side mirror reflectors are very reflective. The black floor. The door panels also have red on them as well. Very, very nice. I forget what Minichamps cost at retail when they're new, so I apologize for that, but I'm pretty sure whatever they retailed for new, I'm just gonna say this is a good value. I don't even know what these things sold for new, but I mean, this is an awesome model. I'm very impressed. This is definitely better than the coupe, I think. You know, the coupe is just, I guess budget-wise, maybe they're thinking because there's more metal, or maybe it's just accurate. You know, the picture I've pulled up, the convertible actually does have a red and black interior, but it looks like the coupe just has a black interior. Although I would have to assume these cars are so expensive, you could probably just get any kind of interior color combination you want. But if anyone knows, please leave a comment again, because you guys know already. I don't know what I'm talking about. Alright, let's pull up a couple of models and compare it to some photos and stuff like that. We have this photo here. The third variation is called the Sterling Moss Speedster. And boy, it's a shame that Minichamps didn't make that, because that is an awesome looking car. If anyone knows, is there a premium of that thing out there in 1/64 scale? I'm going to assume Hot Wheels and maybe Matchbox may have done it, but is there a brand with more detail? Because I would definitely buy that model, that is. Yeah, I'm gonna guess these are some variations of the SLR, and then way back there I think that's that original classic 300 SLR. So it is a open top race car of some sort. Okay, alrighty. So I have three Mercedes. I guess I'll pull out just for some brand comparisons. I have a Mercedes SLK 55 AMG by Kyosho. It's, you know, an SLK is definitely a smaller vehicle, smaller than an SL, and I'm gonna guess this SLR is probably bigger than an SL because it's a more expensive car. Alright, this next one is a majorette. It's 1/63rd scale though, and it's the AMG Vision Gran Turismo from the video game, and I 3D printed my own wheels on it. It's a real shame that Majorette just doesn't stick to 1/64 scale. I mean, 163 is so close to 164. Why, you know, the whole fitting the package thing kind of seems silly. I think you'd make more money if you just stuck to 1/64 scale than trying to fill the size of a box. Alright, the very last one I'm going to show is by UCC Coffee. It's a freebie that came with some UCC coffee in Japan. It's the AMG GT from 2014. Guess I'll just plop it back here. And for a freebie, it's a pretty great model. But it does have painted taillights and a totally blacked out window, so there's no interior visible. I had to buy it though. I don't live in Japan. I don't get access to UCC coffees. Okay, well, there's the size differences there. Bearing in mind the Majorette is a video game car and it's out of scale. Okay, let's get these guys out. Maybe get a little space here. For me, I can highly recommend these things. I mean, these are great. I like them. I definitely prefer the convertible because I can see the interior a little bit better. But naturally, the coupe is a pretty sleek looking car as well. I'm trying to guess what kind of styling, you know, besides the original car. It looks like a long bullet or something. You know, the way these things have such a long hood because that engine is mid-engined. Or is it more like a... Well, what other cars do you guys think this looks like? For some reason I feel like it reminds me of some other types of cars, but on the top of my head I can't figure it out. You know, obviously I told you it's supposed to be based off the 300 SLR, but I'm thinking of like a different brand, like a Corvette or something, a Grand Sport Corvette maybe? I don't know. So many cars in time, so... Alright guys, well, anyways, it's a long video, so I appreciate you watching. If you like Mercedes, I highly recommend you get on eBay and pick some of these up before they're gone forever. As the little base plate said, there's only 5,000 pieces of each of these colors. I'm not sure what other colors they came in. I just bought whatever was out there on eBay at the time. Alright, thanks. I'll see you around.